AA and indie games gain attention for their creative freedom and focused design. Many upcoming projects stand out through unique ideas, strong direction, and careful execution. Here are the top upcoming AA and indie games worth keeping an eye on. Let's get into it! Resonant Q is a cosmic horror survival action game for 1 to 3 players on a collapsing orbital ring. Players ascend from a ground base, hunt anomalies, collect resources, and extract before suit energy runs out. One shared energy system powers weapons, abilities, scanning, and life support, creating constant risk decisions. Resources are used to craft items, upgrade weapons, repair ring systems, and grow the slum's base. Distinct vaults provide different abilities and playstyles. Supreme Experiment is a first-person action adventure where players descend from tower cities to a machine-controlled surface. Combat plays out through gunplay, hacking, and environmental interaction, with systems that reward observation and problem-solving. Progress comes from investigating abandoned facilities, reading logs, and accessing terminals to unlock new paths. A neural implant allows access to a parallel dimension triggered by symbols in the environment, altering perception, encounters, and available routes while revealing hidden systems and information.
A new species, trying to survive, fighting for scraps, searching for truth. An abandoned, poisoned wasteland, crawling with creatures beyond imagination. Down here, humans don't belong. For those who left the city, it's a one-way ticket. But they go for a reason. This evolution of the machines was not random. There's something vast behind it. And it's coming for everyone, not just the machines. The people in the cities don't know it yet, but soon they will.
When Sirens Falls Silent is a psychological thriller set in 1990s Italy, where players control a police officer handling kidnappings and murders. Gameplay revolves around investigation, dialogue, and scene analysis, rather than combat. Players examine bodies, search locations, read documents, and question suspects while observing body language for hidden clues. Progress depends on connecting evidence correctly as violence and pressure increase, with reality sometimes shifting during key moments of the case.
I am Agley. I'm fine, but I'm scared. I have to read this message to you. Please listen to it. Please. I don't want to die. You must follow my instructions. There's a story that must be told, and truths that need to be revealed. I will choose someone. An officer. She must follow my instructions. She will be my voice, my eyes, my soul. The person who will allow the sirens to be heard once more.
That was shocking to view. Now we will head over live and direct to our correspondent.
We still have no significant updates on this case. The police are yet to release an official statement, though some speculation has emerged about the 21-year-old Moldovan woman who was rescued during this morning's raid. It is believed that this young woman is a victim of sex trafficking. The investigation into the whereabouts of the missing girl, Agley, is progressing with increasing...
Was I good? Yes, I was good, right? When will I get...
Nightholme is a multiplayer action survival game where 3 players hunt a powerful creature inside a decaying city. Each run tasks teams with tracking the Gloomfiend, managing limited resources, and deciding whether to avoid or confront rival hunters. Players can channel corruption to transform into grim-spawn forms that change movement, combat, and abilities, while increased power raises the risk of madness. Matches end with extraction using the seed, and earned upgrades persist across future hunts.
Damn. Tell me something. Those markings, they keep you safe from what's out there?
Not from what's out there. From what's in here.
That blood's running heavy, man. You want me to wipe it?
Don't bother.
Ontos is a sci-fi mystery set inside the repurposed Moon Hotel Samsara, where players investigate strange experiments and human belief systems. Gameplay relies on observation, problem-solving, and interacting with physical machines that require careful adjustment rather than fixed solutions. Progress comes from gathering information, operating analog systems, and responding to unsettling encounters that alter how situations unfold. Player decisions affect later outcomes, with tests designed to challenge logic, ethics, and perception while uncovering hidden layers of the station's history.
Inspired him to grant wishes.
Who's there? Nightmare.
That's why all of us are here. You want to understand, to know. Then you have to step beyond the walls surround you. Play your father's game. Push the very limits until even reality itself.
Silver Pines is a survival horror Metroidvania set in a decaying small American town. Players control a private investigator searching for a missing musician while navigating interconnected areas filled with locked paths and hidden routes. Progress depends on combat choices, puzzle solving, and strict inventory management where ammunition and healing items are limited. New tools and weapons open previously inaccessible locations, while enemies and boss encounters create constant pressure between fighting, avoidance, and survival. The Florist is a survival horror game in a small town overtaken by dangerous plant growth. Players navigate fixed camera areas, solve logic puzzles, and fight mutated enemies while managing limited combat encounters. Progress comes from unlocking routes, using weapons carefully, and understanding how environments change over time. Puzzles rely on observation and deduction rather than combat skill. An unlimited inventory allows item collection without space limits, shifting difficulty toward decision-making and enemy avoidance. Blackwood is a third-person action game set in New York during 2012, built around managing a double life. By day, players run a DVD store, handle money, customize spaces, and interact with daily systems. By night, gameplay shifts to missions with responsive gunplay, grounded melee combat, and contextual takedowns using enemies and environments. Player choices link both halves, with progression systems affecting combat efficiency, resources, and narrative pressure across the city.
Oh my god, what happened to your face?
Put some ice on it. Good night, Anton.
The gap in left center. That's rolling all the way to the wall. He's around first, digging.
Welcome to Brightville is a first-person action-adventure immersive sim where players control an automaton guardian immune to the city's controlling system. Gameplay is built around flexible problem-solving using magic-based abilities, environmental interaction, and combat. Spells can be combined to create different effects that influence enemies and surroundings. Non-player characters can actions, changing available information, routes, outcomes, and quests to I Am the Ripper is a British thriller set in a declining dock town during the late 1980s. Players act as a forensic investigator, examining crime scenes, collecting evidence, and reconstructing events tied to a prolific killer. Gameplay is driven by investigative tasks and frequent decisions that alter case progress and character outcomes. Interactive sequences emphasize hands-on forensic work, while branching narrative paths reflect choices made under pressure, shaping how suspects, victims, and conclusions emerge.
Attention all drivers. This is your 1 minute.
Carmageddon Rogue Shift is a vehicular combat racing game built around a roguelike campaign structure. Players enter destruction races, earn rewards through combat driving actions, and choose branching routes across a run. Vehicles can be repaired, upgraded, and fitted with weapons and perks that change handling and combat options. Difficulty increases across events, including elite fights and bosses, while destruction resets, runs, and unlocks lasting upgrades that carry forward. Hello Sunshine is a survival mystery RPG in the ruins of a corporate empire ruled by active machines. Players travel alongside a massive walking robot, using its shadow to survive extreme daytime heat and staying close at night to avoid freezing. Progress comes from scavenging materials, crafting gear, upgrading equipment, and repairing the robot. Camps are built during recharge stops, while decisions and discoveries gradually reveal how the world collapsed and why the systems still operate.
Worse than I expected. Do you see those growths there on the beach? Did your government brief you on any potential anomalies?
Ground Zero is a retro survival horror game taking place in a ruined South Korea after a meteor impact. Players control trained operatives investigating devastated cities filled with mutated organisms. Gameplay combines fixed camera combat, puzzle solving, and strict resource management where ammunition is limited. Enemies can be defeated using firearms in close combat with performance-rewarding upgrade points. Progress involves unlocking gear improvements, handling environmental hazards, and confronting large mutated threats tied to the disaster.
It's better you just turn around and leave.
I only have one more shell. I don't think it's going to be enough.
It's too late! Dying won't change anything!
Forest Reigns is a first-person shooter taking place in post-apocalyptic Paris, overtaken by a living forest. Players navigate open districts where terrain, plants, and creatures react to actions taken during combat and movement. Gunplay supports weapon modification and tactical use of surroundings, turning growth, decay, and weather into tools or threats. Faction relationships change mission, access, and information, while crafting and scavenging systems support survival across varied encounters shaped by player decisions.
In the game design, we focus on playthrough variability and the player's freedom of choice. In this video, we'll demonstrate this using one of the in-game missions about two factions' conflict as an example. We'll help the Citizens faction, which is focused on mutual help and cooperation, fight NQA, a bandit-like faction of mercenaries who go against them and have captured their scout leader Remy. Let's see different scenarios of how the mission could be accomplished. The first option is a direct assault together with a squad. Here, the best weapons are those upgraded for combat, switch scopes, extended barrels, and faster reload speed. You might use the Citizen Squad for backup, but keep in mind losing members affects your relationship with the faction. Shoot the roots to trigger the forest aggression, and use them as a cover. The enemy was hiding behind the root cover, so we fired up an exploding blister to force them out. The path is blocked by blade grass, cutting anything that moves. A tourniquet helps. That's why we attack from the flank. This helps us eliminate several enemies. You can't peek from cover. However, a bullet-reflecting bush can help you hit nearby targets. After eliminating the last enemies inside, you finally get the key to Remy's prison. Stealth is an alternative way to complete the mission. The night is the best time for this. a suppressor, a 4x scope, and recoil reduction. That's a good set to silently take out your enemies. At night, everything changes. The creatures become active, and the scouts have returned to base, so you can't rely on their help. The NQA has also closed the gates, but with challenges, new opportunities arise too. While exploring the street, you spot a way over the fence, but you can't simply jump there. Let's see how this rattlefern can help. You also can harvest a special nature-infused grenade from it, but after that, it grabs you and lifts you up. But if you hesitate, it'll explode. Voila! You use the plant as a springboard to the wall. The grass that blocked the passage before now helps you take down the guard unnoticed. And your rattlefern grenade lets you silently eliminate targets from a distance. Open the gate to distract the hostile faction, and let the hungry boars in. They will keep the enemies busy for a while. Trigger Rattlefern to activate the trap, and keep control over the ground floor. The first one is gone. And the second is gone too. You're free to navigate the streets and admire the architecture, climb into apartments to see their luxurious interiors, discover charming hidden yards without tourists, and experience the city from every angle, uncovering its backstory along the way. Exploration can be rewarding to open up new possibilities for you. A gas mask. You'll need it as soon as you enter the underground tunnel filled with toxic pollen. That tunnel leads to the NQA building's basement. Except for the hazardous pollen, packs of rats may become a serious problem in limited spaces. Additionally, shooting in the pollen-filled spaces will damage your weapons. Use a ventilation system to release the pollen right onto the enemy heads, neutralizing them. Pollen disorients unprotected enemies, causing intoxication and altering consciousness. Kill or spare them, but remember, every choice shapes your path in the game. Now clear the area. The key is right there. Grab it and free Ring. Forest Reigns is all about the player's freedom. Will you choose one of these three approaches? Or come up with your own unique style? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear your feedback. Stay tuned, like, subscribe, and wishlist Forest Reigns on Steam to keep track of all the game updates. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.
Dreadmoor is a first-person adventure built around fishing, survival, and combat in a flooded wasteland. Players pilot a fishing trawler, catch dangerous species, manage cargo, and sell yields to upgrade the ship and equipment. Crafting systems allow creation of baits, tools, and medical items from scavenged materials. Mutated creatures attack on water and land, while radiation hazards and limited resources push careful planning during every task, and inventory decisions shape long-term survival outcomes. Soul Shogunate is an action RPG in an alternate solar system ruled by sword-based clans. Players control Yuzuki, an outlaw ronin using melee combat, range tools, and gravity movement systems. Combat is built around weapon mastery, elemental effects, and skill customization through upgrades. Levels take place across artificial cities and industrial zones on the moon, with traversal using jetpacks and grappling gear. Progression comes from defeating enemies, improving gear, and adapting to varied combat encounters.
私を打ち砕こうとした意志は決意の刃を研ぎ澄ませたに過ぎない。因縁の大事が叶う時、この空が赤く染まろう。無残に叫んで汚れた膝を抱えてる。それでもそんな今日は他にしたくないから光らややららやしわくちゃの顔のままで生きるよ。あなたがいないこんな世界を愛せるようにくだらない。
Parasite Mutant is a bio-horror RPG with a retro third-person semi-fixed camera. Players control a psionic agent investigating an abandoned island city filled with mutants. Combat uses an ATC system that mixes real-time timing with turn-based decisions through chained actions and energy management. Progress comes from solving puzzles, upgrading equipment with modules, earning points through combat, and unlocking additional locations and challenges through repeat play.
You actually want to deploy her? You cannot be serious.
Cascade is one of our most highly trained.
Zero Parades for Dead Spies is an espionage role-playing game centered on investigation, dialogue, and psychological systems. Players act as an intelligence operant rebuilding a damaged network while handling a high-risk assignment. Gameplay relies on skill checks, dice rolls, and timed tactical pauses to resolve situations. Abilities function as internal voices that offer guidance or conflict. Training, conditioning, and exertion systems modify outcomes, allowing progress through success, failure, and improvisation during tense encounters.
I guess. She's a pathetic, fragile embarrassment. And her methods are so unhinged.
But they get results, no?
Long-range missiles get results.
Show a little faith. We're at the end of history. Everything that could go wrong already has.
Out of Words is a 2-player cooperative puzzle platformer built around physics-based challenges and constant communication. Players control Kurt and Carla as they move through handcrafted stop-motion environments, solving puzzles that require coordination, timing, and shared problem-solving. Characters begin without voices, and progress is tied to navigating spaces and situations shaped by ideas of language, emotion, and first love, with mechanics designed to encourage cooperation rather than individual success. Of Peaks and Tides is an open-world survival crafting game built around a reactive physics system. Players gather resources, build structures, tame creatures, and survive changing seasons and disasters alone or in co-op. Combat allows direct fighting or using terrain, weather, and elements to gain advantages. Progression comes from rebuilding settlements, crafting tools and machines, and managing ecosystems where plants, animals, and environments respond dynamically to player actions and long-term decisions. Gungrave GORE Bloodheat is a third-person action shooter rebuilt with a revised combat system and modern controls. Players fight through linear stages using fast gunplay, close-range attacks, and constant movement. Combat emphasizes chaining attacks, crowd control, and environmental interaction rather than cover. Enemies appear in large numbers with varied behaviors, requiring timing and positioning. Progress comes from mastering movement, attack flow, and adapting to escalating combat intensity across encounters. Halloween is an asymmetrical horror game set during a single night in 1978. Matches pit one player controlling Michael Myers against a team of survivors trying to warn residents and escape. Myers relies on stealth, tracking, and special abilities, while opposing players gather items, coordinate actions, and manage NPCs to slow him down. Multiplayer systems adapt as pressure increases, and a separate mode allows controlled play through key events from Michael's perspective. Fractured Blooms is a life simulation game built around a repeating time loop with psychological horror elements. Players control Angie as she manages daily routines like gardening, cooking, cleaning, and resource planning inside a confined home. Each loop requires careful stamina and food management, while subtle changes accumulate over time. Progress depends on optimizing routines, noticing shifts in the environment, and making decisions that permanently alter memory, events, and narrative outcomes across repeated days.
Blades of her legs. Beautiful. Broken. Plates of flowers. Plates and plates. The garden is lush in the rain, and everything's lovely. Dinner's ready.
There's a hunger that feeds and blooms, and I will feed, and I will bloom.
Felt That Boxing is a single-player boxing game built around physics-driven combat and arcade-style controls. Players control Ezra Fuzz E. Wright as he competes in structured matches that reward timing, movement, blocking, and punch selection. Training activities unlock new techniques and special attacks that affect fights. Matches take place in varied arenas, with hazards and modifiers, while progression unlocks abilities, costumes, and mechanics tied to performance across a tournament structure.
Don't waste my time!
Save us, Fuzzy, or we'll die!
Attaboy. Attaboy. Eat bread, crap, burnt toast, carb load! This meat ain't gonna beat itself! I've been taking dumps in there all day! Jab, jab, jab!
Darkwood 2 is a survival horror game where players move through ruined deserts, marshes, and open waters surrounding a spreading forest anomaly. Daytime is spent scavenging supplies, crafting tools, and locating safe structures without maps or markers. When night arrives, gameplay shifts to defense as players barricade shelters, set traps, and endure attacks from multiple directions. Progress depends on resource management, risk assessment, and interacting with hostile factions and unstable characters, whose outcomes affect available paths and systems. DreadOut 3 is a third-person horror adventure based on Indonesian urban legends and spiritual folklore. Players control Linda as she navigates haunted locations, fights hostile spirits, and solves puzzles tied to ritual and myth. Gameplay mixes third-person movement with first-person smartphone mechanics, using the Iris phone to reveal and weaken supernatural threats. Progress requires switching between physical and spiritual realms, managing encounters with aggressive entities, and documenting discovered spirits to unlock new abilities and tools. Peregrino is an isometric survival management game where players guide a caravan through a cursed forest toward New Eden. Daytime gameplay involves scavenging resources, hunting creatures, and navigating dangerous routes. At night, attention shifts to caravan management, including repairs, upgrades, and caring for companions. Pilgrims have individual skills, needs, and permanent death, making decisions critical. Limited supplies, escalating threats after dark, and long-term planning define progress and survival across the wilderness.
Our caravan is falling apart.
My son is sick. We must go back.
The light will cure him.
The gods demand a sacrifice.
What kind of god would do this?
Help us! We are starving!
We can't spare supplies!
We are still not ready.
Our tools are shit!
Calm down, all of you!
We will all rot in this forest!
Directorate Novitiate is a third-person action RPG set in early 2000s Los Angeles, with a split structure between combat and daily life. Players control Mercury, using firearms and arcane abilities during night missions against supernatural groups. Combat combines shooter mechanics with spell use, movement skills, and upgrade systems. During the day, attention shifts to managing relationships, choices, and personal stability. Progress is shaped by mission outcomes, skill development, and decisions that affect both identities.
Loyal dog you are.
This was your mess to prevent!
Show me what you got, love.
Witchspire is a survival crafting adventure where players act as novice witches in a magic-driven open environment. Gameplay combines resource gathering, base building, combat, and spell use, with magic replacing many traditional survival tools. Players can fight or befriend creatures to gain familiars that assist in combat and tasks. Progress includes crafting gear, upgrading abilities through skill systems, and building shared sanctuaries alone or in co-op while responding to corrupted threats and changing conditions. Virtue and a Sledgehammer is a narrative action game where players return to a hometown overtaken by android residents. Gameplay allows free movement through areas by destroying walls, buildings, and obstacles using a sledgehammer. Progress comes from choosing paths through destruction rather than predefined routes. Combat involves close-range attacks against hostile machines, while interactive story scenes reveal memories, family history, and personal conflict. Player actions trigger dialogue and events that shape how past relationships and identity are confronted.
Hi everyone, we are the Construct team. You might remember us from the Red Strings Club and the Cosmic Wheel Sisterhood. For a new game, we partnered with our friends at Silky Harbor to explore more ambitious ideas and designs. By combining our skills with Silky Harbor's, we've been pushing our creativity in new ways, which has led to Virtue and a Sledgehammer.
Virtue and a Sledgehammer is a game about realizing you don't belong in the place you grew up anymore. At its heart, it's a narrative experience. We explore this idea in an exaggerated way, with robots and a sledgehammer, all set up in a creepy ghost town.
In Virtue and a Sledgehammer, you'll make your way through your hometown by literally breaking it apart, uncovering your memories from your past. We put a lot of care into building a highly reactive destruction system that responds to your hammer and to anything you send flying.
But it's not all chaos. There are moments of quiet. You get to know the cast through sequences of interactive fiction presented in a cinematic style. We can't wait for you to uncover all the things we've hidden there. Make sure you wish this the game and follow us for more news.
Raji Kaliyuga is a third-person action-adventure with dual playable characters drawn from Indian mythology. Players alternate between Raji, using acrobatic melee combat with divine weapons, and Darsh, who uses city abilities to affect gravity, time, and energy. Combat systems differ between characters, encouraging switching based on encounters. Progress depends on mastering movement, evasion, and power usage while advancing through connected realms shaped by conflicts between gods, asuras, and mortals. Kaidan is a third-person action survival game inspired by Japanese myth and cosmic horror. Players enter missions alone or in co-op, selecting characters with different strengths and limits. Combat relies on precise swordplay, stamina control, and careful positioning against yokai and large bosses. Before each mission, players choose supplies and tools while risking valuable relics. Progress comes from upgrading weapons, managing madness, and surviving encounters where mistakes can erase hard-earned gains.
Lest you wash up again on my shores, your frail body shatters and broken.
Come on, Daniel, get me in focus. It's getting late and we need to film this report for tomorrow's broadcast.
Frame Zero is a first-person psychological horror game where players control a cameraman investigating a cursed apartment once linked to an exorcist's death. Gameplay centers on survival and navigation using a handheld camera with no emphasis on direct combat. The building is inhabited by a blind, supernatural entity tied to a failed ritual from decades earlier. Progress depends on observation, hiding, and careful movement while uncovering what happened to the missing journalist and finding a way out alive.
As a parent, you've got one job. Protect your family.
Erosion is an isometric action roguelike built around time-shifting consequences. Players search a wasteland to rescue a kidnapped daughter, knowing each death advances the timeline by 10 years. Runs alter towns, factions, and characters as decades pass. Combat uses firearms, melee weapons, and abilities collected across destructible voxel areas. Progress comes from permanent upgrades, branching choices, and managing risk, since failure reshapes environments, unlocks new paths, and changes future encounters. Decrepit is a first-person action game with stamina-based Souls-like combat inside a decaying castle. Each death strips equipment and restarts the player in a different dungeon cell, changing routes and encounters. Progress relies on learning enemy patterns, managing stamina, and using melee weapons and magic together. Only limited gear slots define builds, with set bonuses tied to archetypes. Shortcuts, elevators, and permanent upgrades reward knowledge gained across repeated runs through interconnected areas.
This place has been buried for centuries. Today is our chance to discover what no one else has seen.
Dark Mass is a first-person psychological horror game taking place entirely underwater inside a sunken manor. Players control a deep-sea explorer navigating flooded halls while avoiding a hostile presence bound by an ancient curse. Gameplay focuses on movement in three-dimensional water space, environmental puzzles inspired by historical rituals, and survival through stealth rather than combat. Choices made during encounters and investigations affect progression and determine whether escape is possible or the player becomes trapped within the abyss.
I've never seen anything like this before. What was that? I think I'm not alone down here.
This is the story of a young woman.
Call of the Elder Gods is a first-person narrative puzzle game built around investigation and problem-solving across multiple locations. Players switch between two characters to examine environments, collect clues, and solve interconnected puzzles tied to ancient artifacts. Progress relies on observation, object interaction, and combining information across time and space. Difficulty options adjust guidance systems, allowing puzzles to be approached with varying levels of assistance, while story outcomes unfold through discovery rather than combat.
The story of a civilization long lost to time, and those who sought.
About Fishing is built around methodical fishing mechanics. Players cast lines, study fish behavior, and manage gear upgrades while uncovering clues tied to what lies beneath the water. Each catch serves both as a resource and a source of information, gradually revealing hidden connections. Time and weather systems affect fish patterns and town routines, while trading, observation, and quiet decision-making guide progress toward uncovering a buried mystery beneath the surface. Heart of the Forest is an interactive psychological horror game presented through live-action scenes. Players guide a group of students on a hiking trip that turns into a survival crisis inside the Black Forest. Gameplay is driven by choices made during key moments, affecting character trust, fear, and survival. Decisions determine who resists corruption, who escapes, and how events unfold. Progress comes from reading situations carefully, managing group dynamics, and responding to threats rooted in folklore and trauma.
Something's here with us. Something evil.
7 years ago, the veil tore open.
Armatus is a third-person roguelike shooter set in ruined districts of Paris, overrun by demons. Players enter repeatable runs through changing combat zones, using firearms alongside supernatural abilities to clear enemies and advance deeper into the city. Each run grants upgrades, passive effects, and new combat options that alter playstyle. Death resets the run but preserves learned patterns and progression systems, encouraging adaptation, weapon choice, and ability combinations while pushing closer to the hidden Sunless Gate.
Equipped with our best, you will forge a path through Paris, long decayed. Together, we must reach the Sunless Gate. When we die, we will leave this place. But you return again and again. What are you, really? And why have you come? Is this our salvation?
In Rewilders, prep your next run by growing powerful plants.
Rewilders: The Lost Spring is an open-world action roguelite built around repeatable runs and creature collection. Players enter shifting biomes, fight corrupted enemies, and use traversal tools like gliding and wall running to reach new areas. Creatures called Huntu can be collected, leveled, and combined to change combat options. Progress carries between runs through upgrades earned in a skyship hub, gradually restoring damaged regions and unlocking new paths.
Nature has enemies, and they are watching. Use traversal tools like the glider, hookshot, and wall run to explore deep into each biome. Discover new Hunter with biome-specific abilities. Build the perfect team for each challenge. Meet allies like Riff, and uncover a broken world filled with hidden history, decisions, and hope. Combat is fast and tactical. Chain melee attacks, trigger hunter skills, and adapt your strategy to face unique enemies, including powerful bosses. New biomes mean new companions and new powers to master. Rewild. Grow stronger, explore deeper, and fight for your family.
Verdant is a third-person adventure set after humanity's collapse, where nature has reclaimed cities frozen in a 1980s era. Players control Sprout, surviving by building camps, gathering resources, and upgrading gear. Survival systems track hunger, thirst, and rest, while stealth and avoidance matter more than combat. A core mechanic allows taking or restoring life essence from plants and animals, changing environments and outcomes, and slowly revealing how these powers connect to humanity's downfall.
Shines in the distance, and my eyes see only the summit.
BrokenLore Ascend is a first-person psychological horror game built around climbing and stealth. Players control rooftop climbers Ren and Yui during a night ascent of a massive tower. Gameplay requires managing stamina, grip, and movement while navigating narrow ledges and vertical routes. A hostile entity stalks the climb, forcing players to hide, move carefully, and control noise. As height increases, mechanics reflect mental strain, with perception shifts and escalating pressure tied to survival and decision-making.
Every grip, every breath is proof that we're more than shadows lost in the crowd. Up there, above everyone, we'll be untouchable. He fears the tower. I crave it. The steel, the wind, the silence. It's as if we're really alive. Daring us to reach it faster, to climb higher, to never look back. And I won't stop until we touch the sky.
Tsarevna is a third-person action slasher inspired by ballet movement and Slavic mythology. Players fight using fluid footwork, time dodges, parries, and chained attacks that flow like choreography. Combat rewards rhythm, positioning, and controlled aggression, with abilities tied to enchanted charms and rune powers. Progress comes from mastering movement-based combat, defeating hostile creatures, and navigating cursed locations while uncovering relics linked to a fallen realm and its lingering forces. The Free Shepherd is a third-person adventure where players control a sheepdog guiding scattered flocks across a damaged landscape. Gameplay centers on movement, positioning, and awareness as sheep react dynamically to terrain, danger, and the dog's actions. Players lead groups to safe locations while avoiding threats and navigating changing conditions. Progress comes from understanding animal behavior, opening new routes, and uncovering the cause of a spreading calamity that alters environments and objectives over time. The Lift Supernatural Handyman Simulator is a first-person simulation game set inside an abandoned research facility drifting through space. Players act as a repair technician, restoring entire floors by fixing furniture, machinery, and complex electrical systems. Gameplay focuses on hands-on tasks like wiring circuits, routing power, crafting tools, and repairing devices using detailed interactions. A central lift acts as a mobile hub between areas, while completed repairs unlock new sections and gradually reveal the cause of the facility's collapse.
Unresponsive. Please contact headquarters.
Rivage is a first-person sci-fi puzzle adventure set on the isolated Ares space station. You play as Miranda, waking up alone after a space phenomenon traps the station and wipes out the crew. Exploration and puzzle-solving drive progression as you repair systems, study strange objects, and follow clues left behind. Each area reveals more about the crew's fate and the cost of human ambition, slowly guiding you toward understanding what went wrong and how to escape.
We were meant to find answers. Now I have to find a way to escape this place. The clues are all around me.
Following in Armstrong's footsteps.
Play solo or in co-op as deaths reshape the island, forcing careful planning, teamwork, and constant management of supplies and light. You play as a junior archivist sent to document humanity's final lunar colony. Gameplay revolves around scanning and preserving scientific, cultural, and personal records. After sabotage destabilizes the base, survival systems like oxygen, power, and time management become critical. Choices about what data to save or abandon affect characters, the archive, and how the colony's legacy is ultimately defined.
You're racking up quite the body count.
Mankind will forget who they were. Just do it.
Never. You hear? Never. Mass murder is not the way.
I don't know. Am I mistaking data for an afterlife? But if memory isn't worth saving, what is?
Brightfall is an open-world survival craft game set on a cursed 17th century island hidden from the world. You scavenge resources, build shelters, and craft tools to survive shifting environments where darkness actively drains sanity. Light is a core mechanic, used to hold back corruption, protect allies, and unlock safer zones. BrokenLore Don't Lie is a first-person psychological horror spin-off centered on Junko, a young woman trapped in her apartment while trying to reconnect with two former patients. Gameplay involves searching rooms for clues, managing medication, and enduring distorted hallucinations that alter spaces and events. Stealth sections require hiding from manifestations, while limited combat appears during confrontations. Conversations, small decisions, and lies influence Junko's mental stability, with retro side-scroller segments intersecting with the main narrative. End of Abysses is a top-down survival horror game set in a vast, ruined underground facility. You play as Cell, a combat technician sent to investigate a growing threat below the surface. Explore dark, claustrophobic areas, map paths with a scanner, and unlock new routes through upgrades. Combat uses twin-stick shooting against twisted creatures, while careful movement and resource use are key to survival as the descent grows more dangerous.
Was called in to contain the breach.
Echo Generation 2 is a sci-fi, turn-based RPG from Coco Cucumber. You play as Jack, a regular dad lost in a strange dimension, trying to find his way home. Build a small crew, unlock over 100 skills, and create smart combat combos. Battles focus on tactical choices, timing, and synergy. The story connects to the original game while standing on its own, with a retro voxel art style and an 80s-inspired synth soundtrack.
Once forces beyond our reality trapped me. It was a one-way ticket to a whole new world. The question isn't, what can I do to survive? what can I do to find my way home?
Kumarn the Wandering Spirit is a dark adventure inspired by Thai folklore. You play as Kumarn, a small spirit torn from his shrine and lost in a world of ghosts. Explore haunted villages, temples, and graveyards while avoiding hostile spirits through stealth and puzzles. A loyal zebra helps you survive dangerous paths. The focus is on atmosphere, careful movement, and uncovering stories of grief, fear, and belonging as Kumarn searches for a place to call home. Unhinged casts you into a corporate survival experiment on an alien island where crafting and automation are key to staying alive. The game uses open areas, modular machine building, power generation, farming, and chemical synthesis to support long-term survival. A detailed sanity system tracks mental balance alongside food and health. Players face corporate trials, hostile biomes, and unsettling entities while constructing bases, automating production lines, and managing risk through experimentation.
Would you like a slice? I'm losing it, man. I'm hearing some crazy things.
Seriously, it's gonna be super easy from here on. You just have to do this one last thing.
I don't know what's real anymore.
Just hang in there a little bit longer.
Just die.
All right, let the chop chop begin.
Oops. Dude, stop acting so crazy.